Emotional dis-ease. Your belief system is what determines whether you express or suppress your emotions. In other words, your belief system is what causes your emotional response to be either action, which is natural, or reaction, which is repressed. What you refer to as an emotional reaction is the accumulation of suppressed actions. In other words, your emotional reactions are emotional actions that have been repressed to one degree or another by your belief system. Natural emotional action is never volatile. Whether you are thinking or receiving thoughts, your whole body is responding. You think the only thing that happens is taking place in your brain. Your whole body is responding to that input. Your response to your different environments with inanimate objects changes your physical construct as much as the people that you interact with on a daily basis. You can walk into a house or a home, in some instances, and you want to immediately get out of that house because of your emotional response to the internal environment of that house. The opposite is also true. You feel like you would like to go into that home and stay there because your body is content in that environment. You meet someone and you immediately dislike that person. You meet someone else and you immediately like that person. These are emotional responses based on exposure to people of a similar makeup. It is a belief system and an emotional system that the brain has collected data about. Like the person with the jetting chin or no earlobes. With your human emotions funneled through your individual belief system, you have the ability to do two things, either act or react depending upon the situation. Your natural emotional response would immediately be action, but because of your belief system in a given situation, you have suppressed that and you have non-action. Non-action is one of the most detrimental things to the body, a suppressed emotion which affects the whole physical construct. The physical construct is in a state of dis-ease because of its inability to act naturally. When you suppress an emotion, what you're doing is actually strangling the physical body. The natural physical body will act. It's the non-action or reaction that is detrimental. The physical body needs that freedom of action. As we have said very often, when the athlete or the musician or the painters or the people that are raising children, the people that are explorers, any type of focused action that you have planned and you suppress it, then all you do is end up with anxiety or depression because you're not allowing the body its freedom. And not allowing the body its freedom, you're giving it mixed messages. You want to do something and your belief system says, oh, that wouldn't be proper. So you suppress that emotion. But then you don't do anything with it. Even a suppressed emotion needs some type of release to ensure the body's stability. How you act, react, or non-act to emotions is what makes the difference in your everyday life. When your belief system attaches you so strongly to any and all emotions, you don't act, you react. Your goal is to allow the emotions to flow naturally without attaching yourself to them. Be an observer of your emotions. By being an observer of your emotions, you allow the free flow they naturally express. That's why when you have a great deal of anxiety or tension within the body, your body is so tense and it builds and it builds and it builds. The emotional response is, I've got to go lay down, I'm just whipped. That is why, when people are tense and uptight, when they relax, that's when they get sick. They had built and built and built all of this emotion within the body and they haven't let it go. That emotional energy has to go someplace. You've got this emotion that's built up. You would be far better off in those situations when it is built to the point of, I'm so tense, I'm so uptight, that you go out and hit a racquetball or tennis or football or golf or swim or do something to get rid of that pent-up emotion. But you carry it with you day after day after day. That is deteriorating on the whole bodily construct. Your whole body needs to have the relaxation to the point that it can rejuvenate itself. There are forward-thinking companies that have exercise rooms, playgrounds, swimming pools, etc. for people to go to release the tension in their bodies. If the body doesn't have that relaxation, you are not sleeping and you stay uptight. You start to relax a little bit and the body says, oh boy, here we go. It starts letting go and that emotion that has been a barrier throughout your body begins to relax itself. Very often, that is when an illness will occur, because the body releases all the pent-up emotion and floods the whole bodily construct. It is much like an old-fashioned golf ball that is wound with rubber bands under tension. You cut through it with a knife and those bands just fly in all directions. People will say, that person was doing just fine. She was just doing wonderful, da-da-da-da-da-da. Then why did she have a heart attack? They sat down and finally relaxed. They released all that pent-up energy and the body couldn't handle it because it was too much. They had built up in the very cells of their body an electrical charge of sorts. That is also why they say that people explode in anger. What happens is this energy just goes bang and releases. That is far better than holding it in. You have to call it something because it is a something. We call it emotional energy. It is created by the constrained emotions within the physical construct. Working with emotion, you are constantly changing because the human is the most active in its emotional responses to its everyday existence. Emotions are many-faceted. It has many different characteristics. The only part of emotions that you seem to pay any attention to are those reactive elements. That is where emotion has expressed itself in a manner that you respond to, like something hurts or something happened. There are other characteristics of emotion that are very subtle but very direct in giving you a message through the body. Tranquility is an emotional expression. You don't pay attention to this. Anything that elicits a strong emotional response is recorded. Those are the ones that you recall. They are also the ones that you sometimes think are insignificant or that you don't want. It is sinful or dastardly or whatever. It is still an emotional response. Your action or reaction to that given situation is recorded also. That is what you will take into another reality as you continue your progression through your multiple realities which you're setting up. Depending upon how you accept these emotional responses, this is what you will use to put you into another reality. Do you want to keep those inappropriate beliefs with you? This happens to you every day on an emotional level that will allow you to go where you want to go. The point is, you constantly make decisions. There is not a day that goes by in any physical being that there aren't thousands of emotions that are experienced by the physical construct. Why do people have accidents and put themselves in wheelchairs? I want to write music and I don't want to do anything else. That's all I want to do is write music. I can't do it because of what will happen. I have to go out and earn a living. I'm expected to marry this girl. I'm expected to make a good living. I'm expected to have children. I don't want that. I don't want any part of it. You're going to be sure you're not going to get any part of it either. You want to write music, that's it, period. Beginning to end. How are you going to manage it? I don't know how I'm going to manage it, but somebody will take care of me because this is what I want to do. The emotion becomes so strong that you'll find a way of doing it. You put yourself in a wheelchair. That is where that word emotion comes in. It's a decision maker. As an example, the life of Chopin, he was so focused in his intent to compose music that he focused and isolated himself to the point of illness, resulting in death. At the end of his life he began to give concerts, but by then the body was so weak, it was never able to recover. You see a tragedy or an accident, you become emotionally involved in something that has no connection to you and your existence at all. You become emotionally involved and all upset. I wonder if it's anyone I know. I wonder how that happened. I wonder how many cars are involved. You see the accident. Oh, that must have been terrible. You're getting yourself all involved with something that has nothing to do with your individual evolution. You don't stop to think and remember there are no accidents. When you become involved in anything, even just watching the news on your television and talking about it to other people and being so concerned about it, what are you doing? You're upsetting your physical construct. When you upset the free flow of your physical construct, what are you putting yourself in for? Do you want a headache? Do you want an upset stomach? You can get a headache or an upset stomach very easily by dwelling on things that are contrary to the natural flow of the whole bodily system. We have said many times, you will find someone that is very content under circumstances that you would call appalling, simply because they are content in their observation. They don't need to become involved in all things that have no concern to them. They're happy in their existence because they are following their observations. They have one realization: I don't need to be concerned about what's going on in the rest of the world. You have two types of experiences, primary and secondary. Primary experiences are those that concern you directly. Secondary experiences are those you see or hear about. Many of you get to the point that a secondary experience becomes more prominent in your everyday existence than what your primary experiences are. When you begin to work off of secondary experiences more than you do primary experiences, you are unable to function. Your body is getting mixed emotions. You're upset. You're depressed. You've got headaches. You've got stomach aches. Everything is wrong. So, what do? You begin to take medication to take care of this. Medication to take care of that. Your body again is getting mixed signals. What am I to take care of? You've got a headache, so you take a pill to get rid of your headache. The body says, all right, that's no longer my responsibility. I don't have to bother about the headache because you have taken care of it with a pill. You've got an upset stomach and you take a pill to take care of the upset stomach. The body says, I don't need to take care of that upset stomach. You've already taken care of the upset stomach with a pill. You continue that routine. The body accepts those messages. When you get a headache, the body says, I don't need to take care of that. You get an upset stomach and the body says, I don't need to take care of that. Can you see where this is leading? Every time you have something that is blocking what you want to do, you take a pill. You say, I will be all right, then I can do what I want to do or what I need to do. You get to the point that you take one, then you take another, then the next thing you know, when you get up in the morning you have to take this in order to get going. You have to take this when you have lunch. You have to take this when you come home at night. You have to take this because you have a stressful situation. You go to bed at night, I can't sleep. You take something else. Who's taking care of the body? The body can't take care of itself in its natural, everyday, emotional, rhythmic pattern because you have stifled the emotional response. The digestive system, the head and the heart and the kidneys and the liver, the glands, all the rest of the things that go on inside your physical makeup. Those are your big numbers. Every subsystem you have in your body is out of rhythm. You, inside the body, have shut down your whole basic operating system. The word dis-ease is very appropriate. The body is definitely in a state of uneasiness because it is not allowed to function naturally. You came here to experience the physical construct, but you're not allowing the physical construct to do what it naturally does. Your body, every atom within your body, every particle that makes up an atom, has awareness. It knows what to do, but it can't work with secondary experiences showing you how unsafe you are. That your body is in danger. You're working from the wrong end of the stick. If you go out to play baseball and somebody hands you a golf club, what are you going to do? It's the same thing. You are not using the proper equipment and allowing the body to take care of itself.